money changers out of the temple. You remember? Because that's how Jewish priests and them used to get them bread. Who crucified him. Where there is a lot of debate and faith has to step in is whether in fact he rose from the dead. Are you with me? Because to be historical, it has to be written, corroborated by some people who have seen it, you know? Just like they know that Caesar lived, because they have record. Pilate lived, was a real man. Jesus, this man named Jesus was brought before Pilate. Are you seeing? But it gets difficult historical. But why I think that it belongs to both faith and history. There were several sightings of Jesus after his resurrection. Remember that the crucifixion was very public, don't it? There were people around, saw him carrying the cross. Crucifixion was a common thing, brethren. Right? But when Jesus was crucified, there were certain things, I won't go into them now, that was Friday, that occurred that they had never seen occurred before. Like the veil of the temple was split. Like bodies started to come up out of the earth. Different things happened, phenomena. But some people may say that was coincidence. Okay? Now they may say it was an earthquake that caused it. But what they cannot refute is that there were several sightings of Jesus. Not as a ghost. Although at least in one case, they thought it was a ghost, right? And they started to run. But there were several. Let me give you a couple of them. Go to Mark 16, verse 9. Mark 16, verse 9. Mark 16, verse 9. Somebody read that very quickly. Mark 16, verse 9.
When Jesus rose early on the first day of the week, he appeared first to Mary Magdalene, out of whom he had driven 7 demons.
So this was still at Jerusalem, and he appeared unto Mary Magdalene. Go to Matthew 28, 9. Matthew 28, verse 9. Matthew 28, verse 9. Matthew 28, verse 9.
And as they went to tell his disciples, behold, Jesus met them, saying, All hail. And they came and held him glad.
So now, not just Mary Magdalene, but there was another woman with her. Okay? And Jesus appeared unto them. Then, of course, the 2 disciples who were on the road to Emmaus, then he appeared to 10 apostles. And by the way, Thomas was not there. Right? Then he appeared to 7 disciples that were fishing. He met with 11 apostles. Then, and it goes on and on and on. And one of the most significant one, to concur with what Alyssa said, was when Thomas touched him. You remember doubting Thomas? Right? So I agree with Brother Cohen when he said Jesus' resurrection was a thing of historical fact, but also faith. Also faith. Yes, Alice.
Faith is the evidence of things not seen according to definition. How can history require faith?
No, what I am saying, faith is not historical or scientific. Because you only need faith where there's no proof.
But there is proof.
That what?
That Jesus rose according to what you said.
Yes, there is proof based on this. But, to be honest, there is outside of the scripture, there is no corroborating written text to these sightings. For instance, if one of the centurions who were there at his death had written a book, are you with me? You know, that said, I was there when Jesus came back. They would have. Or if Jesus himself had written his autobiography. Because remember, one of the things that Jesus never did, and I asked whether he was illiterate, there is no account, not even a letter, that he has ever written to his mother. Jesus never wrote. Except in the scripture where he said he bent down and he wrote in the earth when they brought the lady before him, the woman before him who had committed adultery. But nobody even said what he wrote, right?
And also the other one Onel told us.
Yes, Sister Trella.
I think where faith comes in all of this is for us today to believe that if we're going to be saved, we must believe that he died and he was resurrected.
That's right.
That's where faith comes in, where we are concerned.
But Alyssa makes a good point.
Yeah.
Alyssa is saying, if these sightings really occur,
Right.
then it's not a matter of faith.
No.
It's history.
That's right.
Because remember, faith only begins where history and science can't go. I'm going to repeat. Faith only begins where history and science can't go. And a lot of the Christian belief is therefore based on faith. History helps us, you know. There was a man named Jesus. He actually walked on the earth. Are you with me? History cannot prove, or science cannot prove, that it was a virgin birth. Are you with me? History cannot prove it. As a matter of fact, science would say you can't pregnant a woman outside of a sperm and an egg meeting to form an ovum. It cannot happen. So we know that in terms of Jesus' virgin birth, it's faith. It's faith. There's no. It's based on Mary's word and Joseph, you know. But nobody else. They never went to a doctor and get an examination. Are you with me? Before.